The lady senator from Iloilo.
Mr. President, allow me to address this question to the prosecution panel as a group. What on earth were you thinking? You were asked to tell the court early in the opening of this impeachment trial, how many witnesses will you present? You answered 100. It was in all the banner headlines of all the major newspapers. Now you're telling us you present maybe in effect 15 at most. I repeat, what on earth were you thinking? Were you playing games with us? You know that when the judge asks you how many witnesses you will present, that is not binding on the lawyer. The judge has no power to limit the number of witnesses. That is only an approximation. So if your answer is, we only wanted to make sure, then you could have approximated a figure relatively close to the about 15 or so that you will present. Why say 100? What on earth was going through your mind? Were you trying to mislead the court? Were you trying to conduct trial by publicity? And may remind you, prosecution panel, in the rules of the impeachment court promulgated by the Senate, the senators are themselves prohibited from making public statements on the merits of the case. How dare you make allegations about personal attacks concerning senator judges? Pare-pareho tayong nasa politika. Huwag nyo kaming lukuhin dito. Nanggagaling yun sa inyo. In the same way that maybe the defense is also engaging in the same practice, let's say, in self-defense, in its kindest light. Kaya huwag na kayong magpapaggapan-gapan dyan. Irespeto nyo ang impeachment court. Huwag kayong mga atake personal. Malapit na talaga akong mag-privilege speech dito tungkol sa sub-judice rule. Nagtatago kayo ha? Lumabas kayo dito. Ngayon, itong Article 3 ninyo, I'm reading from your complaint. In creating an excessive entanglement with Mrs. Arroyo through her appointment of his wife to office, what are you thinking? Excessive entanglement is a term of art in constitutional law that is applied in cases involving the separation of church and state. When you use the term excessive entanglement, that means this is a case involving the power of the state to regulate the activities of the church and vice versa. Don't use this term of art here because it has nothing to do with the church-state conflict. Pasiklab kayo ng pasiklab, you are using terms of art in law. Pwede ba? Sabihin nyo na lang, he was so close, therefore he could no longer maintain the independence or the cold neutrality of an impartial judge. Ganun na lang. Huwag na kayong gamit pa ng kung ano-anong salita sa constitutional law. Hindi tayo maintindihan pag tatawanan tayo ng mga students of constitutional law in all tripartite democracies like ours. Pag may term of art, huwag mong gamitin yan. Kung hindi ka sigurado kung anong meaning yan. Kaya tayo tumatagal dito eh. This is all taking a toll on my physical condition. I have to make that of record. Because I think to myself, what will lawyers outside of our country think when they read the transcript? Saka habang nagbibista tayo dito, walang patid ang mga atake personal sa aming mga impeachment court judges, whether we are perceived to be in favor of the prosecution or of the defense. Ano ito? Trial by publicity? Are you hoping that you can frighten or threaten or intimidate the impeachment court into a decision in conformity with your own particular view of the law, which I must say sometimes bizarre. It's not only peculiar, but itself bizarre. So Byzantine that I cannot figure out what it is that you're trying to do. Pagkatapos sa gabi, Mr. President, I want our colleagues to know, there was a special newscast saying that UP students are going to conduct a referendum or a survey with 3 questions. Sa tingin mo ba, pwede pang manatili sa posisyon si Chief Justice Corona and others of like import? In the first place, no UP student with the IQ that is demanded of the state university will conduct that kind of a survey when only the prosecution has presented evidence. Wala pa nga nag-present ng evidence ang defense eh. Magtatanong ka na? And secondly, what is the implication? That this matter can be resolved by referendum? Eh kung mag-survey kaya ang Ateneo at kontra sa survey ng UP, ano ngayon ang gagawin natin? Anong klaseng pampropaganda yan, Aber? Mag-isip-isip naman kayo, nakaka-insulto. You're an insult to the intelligence of educated Filipinos. At saka hindi man lang student council ng UP magkakandak. Nag-interview sila ng student leaders daw of 2 colleges. The UP has a constituency of maybe 30 million all over the country, or maybe, I don't know. Senator Engara would know better than me. Maybe close to 50 million. Anong ibig sabihin nito? At huwag nga ninyo akong lokohin. Hindi yan lilitaw sa newscast kung walang may nagbayad. Dahil hindi naman legitimate news yan eh. Magsasurvey, ang isang campus is not even officially sponsored by the owner of the school or the administrators of the school or by the student council of the school. Tsaka ang dami inyong komentaryo sa aming mga senator judges. Eh kung magkomentaryo kaya kami during the trial about your competence. In fact, maybe about your mental sanity. Aber, gustuhin nyo? Huwag nyo kaming ginaganyan, ha? And besides, I have evidence about a certain congressman who has been testifying here. Huwag nyo kong pilitin to reveal my hand. I can prove that he's lying under oath. Be careful.
Senator Joker Arroyo, Mr. President, wishes the
Gentleman
to be
from
recognized.
Makati and Bicol.